Afternoon, all the wonderful, wonderful Rocketeers out there, and welcome to Minor League Esports presented by APM Music. Once again, I'm your happy-go-lucky hooligan host, Captain @Soka, but I'm not joined in the booth alone. Oh no, I'm joined by the one and only Grant CFO. Grant, how you doing tonight, my guy?
Like I told Curtis, I am doing fantabulously. That's not the exact word I made up. I made up a different word. I'm not exactly sure, but least to say, I am doing wonderfully. I'm ready for more minor league esports action, and little fun fact, I took a nap before I hopped onto that broadcast, so I'm energized. I'm ready to go, Captain. I'm feeling myself. I'm ready for some more Academy League action tonight. Who do we got playing for us, Captain? I'll let you take the reins on who's going, what they've got going for them.
Well, right now, this is actually one of my favorite matchups for who would win, and it's the Sharks versus the Bears. So, this is actually pretty interesting, because who would win a Shark versus a Bear? Very territorial and very dangerous creatures, but let's see how the Rocket League teams stack up. As looking at the stat sheet here, we got the Sharks, who are fourth in their respective division with a record of 18-32. We're going to go to the other side to the Bears, and they are also fourth in their respective division, but their record is going 8-42. So they're not doing too hot, and I'm pretty sure, and correct me if I'm wrong, that the Bears have nearly lost all playoff contention.
Yes, they have. Bears are the only team, it's a depressing note, but they're the only team in MLE right now that are 100% no chance in the playoffs. They cannot make it no matter what they do. So it's another case of what we saw in the last game. It's going to be the Bears playing spoiler against the Sharks. So whatever they can do to knock off as many games as possible, that's what they're here for. They just got to play this one out. And I mean, this is kind of a fun situation though for the Bears, because as a freestyler myself, and I mean, not technically, I like to spin, okay, Captain? I like to have fun in my Rocket League matches. So Bears with nothing on the line, with zero pressure, what do we expect from them, Captain?
Honestly, I don't know. You threw me off when you said you were a freestyler because I'm not gonna lie. When you said that, I thought you were trying to tell me you were a closet rapper, and I had no idea. But if we're talking about terms of Rocket League, and you want to go for freestyles, personally, I don't think they have a place in competitive Rocket League. If you're playing in tournaments, you're playing in leagues like this one here at Minor League Esports, and if you can freestyle and it's constructive to what it is that you're doing, that's fine. But if you're doing it just for the gigs, then I say leave that for the free play, leave it for the videos, and as long as it doesn't interfere with your performance, then I say by all means go for it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a freestyle rapper, but I am a freestyle spinner in Rocket League. Maybe we get to see a showcase like that. It's Sharks and the Bears set ready to go in game one. Fresh clock to start everything off. This one's already out to midfield to the backboard now. Kalo puts one just a little touch away from themselves, and this is 2v2, folks. I know some of you tuning in might have just saw 3v3. Oh, you better wrap your mind around this one as quick as you can. Dietrich with a miss. Sunday puts it back off of the corner, and Kalo clears long downfield, forcing the Sharks into an early retreat. Things look a little dangerous, but that pinch off the back wall is not going to do it for them. We'll have to wait for their next opportunity. Ginge, the 1v1, they get cut out on the first attack. 30 or 40 seconds gone by. We see nothing to come of much yet.
I gotta say, I'm liking the rainbow wheels that I'm seeing on the field right now, showing a little pride for Pride Month. Holla at you. Good look on them, honestly, and it looks tight. I might put that on my vehicle, honestly. It's actually a good looking wheel, all things considered. But it's not very good looking. That demolition on Mini Sunday, absolutely vicious. And what I think is actually really cool right now is that over a minute has gone by, and boom, Caster's Curse a split second late. I was gonna say we're still tied at 0. The Bears were holding on successfully. But now not only is it, 1-0, a point on the board, but it's against the Bears.
Oh, yeah, see, that's real tricky. When you got ball cam on, sometimes your fingers tell you to flip forward when you need to flip backward, and I think that's what happened there for the Bears and Kalo while they were in the net. Oh, goodness. Got to be careful here with the Sharks. That one could have ended up in the net pretty darn easily. They'll hold it out a little bit better. Dietrich around the corner gets it actually by one defender, Mini Sunday. That's confusing already. We'll take this one back out to the corner. One more shot. Can't get it off to the backboard to go. Back the Sharks come. They can. Dietrich playing a little fancy down low. Okay, busting out some moves. Won't be busting out any rhymes, though. We've already covered this. I ain't a freestyle rapper. And This one, still, I think the Bears are just struggling to capitalize on any opportunities. They're not really communicating when they're passing, or maybe they are, but nobody's really coming forth to take advantage.
Yeah, to me, they're playing a little bit nervous here. You know, they're hesitating a little bit because let's be honest. And I've actually covered this a lot over the weekend. You know, with the tournament I was casting for before, and these were like high-level players, and I still saw some play style like this. So you know, it's kind of something that affects everybody. Where they're doing good, they're breaking down the field, they're passing to each other, but when it comes to execution, being able to finish and put the ball into the back of the net, that seems to be an issue that a lot of teams have, and it's an issue that not just affects those at the pro level, but clearly down here in the academy as well. So it just goes to show, you know, how commonplace these typical problems can be. And, you know, we're just seeing it show out right now for the Bears as they still struggle to get on the board.
For sure, Sharks leading the charge and now leading an offensive attack as Mini Sunday on the left side gets a fake out past Dietrich. Doesn't go for the double. Could have definitely snuck that by Kalo had they used that 100 boost they had. They had a lot to use there. Not going to use their resources just yet. Kalo picks up the boost, turns on it. Doesn't put it off the back wall. We're seeing a lot of struggles mechanically. Both of those power shots, getting just basic shots in, and you know, maybe it's a little bit easy to see why, you know, the Bears haven't found much success right now. It's those bare bones mechanics they're just struggling to be able to pull off right now against this Sharks roster, and they're not able to score much because of it.
Yeah, and it's almost like as if we're talking it comes to fruition on the field, because like we were saying, you know, they get the passing done, they're getting it downfield, they're getting past the defense, and just then they clearly had a shot on net, and then what they do, they ping it off the darn sidebar. So again, you know, it's just all about that execution, like you were talking about, the bare bone mechanics. But I will say this in favor of the Bears is that I like the way they're thinking. You know, they have the right idea. Now they just have to put it down on the field.
It is all going to come down to this execution. Kalo jumps early. This one will go to the wayside. Miss Ginge has it on top of their car, flicks early. Dietrich picks it up. Mini Sunday got faked out, turned a bit too quick on it, got indecisive, hesitated, and this one ends up in the net.
Now, you see, this is where, in my opinion, the Sharks got a little bit too comfortable. Because let me tell you about it. You know, the Bears were shooting. You know, they maintained possession for the majority of that, you know, that last goal, you know, going around. And they were really keeping the ball away from the Sharks. And then they just kept, like, it seemed like the Sharks were kind of allowing the Bears to shoot, thinking, oh, they're not going to make it. They were missing, they're missing. Well, if you keep letting them take shots like that, eventually they're going to land one. So the Sharks, I think they need to start picking up on the Bears a little bit, or they're just going to keep on scoring. Don't sleep on them. You got less than a minute to go, and now you're down 1 goal.
Yeah, this is exactly what we need to see. It all came down to execution. When they can find these power shots, these simple, bare bone mechanics, that's when we're going to see the success come out. And now they take the lead. They turn around this game for themselves. Let's see how long they can hold on to it, though. Kalo off the kickoff secures it a little bit, but it's back to defensive territory for the Bears.
I saw what you did there, by the way. I'm not going to let that one go. I like the bear puns. But now we're tied back at 2. Off the kickoff, too. It's going to be Miss Ginge to get the touch there and just follow it up. And honestly, I'm not sure if maybe the defense didn't expect Miss Ginge to get back to the ball right away, because that adaptation and being able to recover so quickly off the kickoff, I got to say, even caught me a little bit off guard.
That was a little bit surprised that we would see goals come that quick. We did see it a lot with the Hurricanes in the last series in Master League. Certainly did not expect to see it come so easy in Academy League, but hey, more power to them. They'll take every goal that they can get and move along with it. Sharks feeling a bit more comfortable now. They feel like they're back in the series. Miss Ginge getting real involved right now. Dietrich over and away. Hops it down. Miss Ginge keeps control of it. Fakes out Kalo, playing the patient game now off the corner, up to the ceiling. Kalo leaves it for Dietrich. Sends this one away. And Sharks struggle to get their hands on it as Bears come quick down the field. Played back out into that same corner. Dietrich, one more pass. It goes over. Kalo could strike here, but it hits the ground. Not quick enough on the reaction time, and we've got overtime.
And honestly, this is a good, you know, this is a good telling sign right here. The fact that game number 1 between these two teams goes all the way to OT, you know, that gives me a good feeling that we're going to see some intense competitive action here. But hold the phone and whiff that feels bad, and then an equally feeling bad shot. Just negative energy going on right now. We have an unfortunate whiff that left to an open goal, and then a missed shot opportunity. A bunch of feels bad man going down on the field right now.
Miss Ginge out to the backboard. Oh no, Dietrich with a mess up. Back to the backboard again. They can't capitalize. Sharks have to retreat to defense. However, Bears not quick enough to change to offense. Can't wrap around for Kalo. Miss Ginge to the corner. Got caught off guard. Kalo puts it in front of net. Doomsy dish to the other side. And Bears go up 3-2. They take the game.
Yeah, look at this solo mechanics there. Just getting past one defender and the second. Like the unrelenting offense coming from the Bears, I guess for, you know, the defense of the Sharks was just simply unbearable as they managed to get past them and win in the overtime. But let's take a look a bit at the statistics and what I like to call caps analysis. Now, given that the shot count was so widespread, you expect the score count and the scoreline to be equally as spread, but it actually wasn't. This was just a simple case of quantity versus quality. Of clearly, we have a better quality of shot coming from the Sharks. They took 2 shots, they made 2. So they're taking like concise, smart shot selection. On the other side, you just have an unrelenting force of offense. 8 shots recovered, making 3 of them. And then, you know, in the end of it, they're the ones that take home the win. But let's keep in mind, in regulatory play, they were all even.
Yeah, I mean, they were tied for a good majority of that. We saw a really back and forth game, though. We saw the Sharks not really get their hands on what they wanted to in the beginning. They got 1 goal, but then they got the lead flipped on them, and they came back. But Bears are able to come out on top, and what a way to finish it as well. Kalo, Doomsy Dish, and Academy League just casually goes for a stroll, takes it over. Like, what? That's phenomenal mechanical play there. And if we could see that continue on for the Bears, then I should take back my statement about what I said from them. It isn't easy to see how they're bottom of the entire Academy League. They look phenomenal right now, but they're going to have to be much, much more consistent. That's been the big key factor to today's game, is how consistent can the Bears be? And if they can be consistent, we'll see them pick off another game with ease.
Yeah, and now Grant, let me ask you real quick. Let's go into the mind of a shark right now. The first thing's going off in your head. Number 1, you can't swim backwards. Number 2, this is a pivotal game. If you go down by the Bears, it could be deadly for your contention for playoffs. And, you know, speaking, you know, like we said earlier, the Bears are the only team out, so they have nothing to lose. But the Sharks, they might. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, well, I'll tell you that in a minute, because Bears, it's Kalo again. Who else would it be who picks up this first goal? Just like that. Simple pop over, finds the angle. That one, really lucked out with that one, I'll say. But 20 seconds gone, you know, what are the Sharks feeling, right? When your playoff contention is in danger, I mean, obviously it's a scary thought. And I mean, I'd be more scared about my power rankings position, because if we lose to the bottom team, that's not going to bode well over in the franchise. But Miss Ginge is able to turn things around and secure themselves a real quick goal. Simple as that. Just as simple as the Bears. And it's these bare bones mechanics that's going to get the goals to go.
And that's what's funny, and that's honestly what's making this game good, is the fact that, you know, we're watching these plays unfold, and we're trying to talk about, you know, the mindset of the Bears and the Sharks, and we're trying to kind of understand what the situation is here in this particular game, and they're just scoring nonstop. They have no time to talk, as Kalo will get another one on an impressive pass play. Need I remind you here, Dietrich with a nice touch coming out from the corner, and then what a beautiful upside down touch from Kalo will drop the ball low and put their team up 1. They're scoring rapidly now. That's 3 goals in a matter of like 45 seconds.
That was a crazy play. Look, I'll be honest, I was looking away, but when I look back, I was certainly pleased to see what I saw from Dietrich and Kalo. The cross play, when you go from all the way on the right position and you go on the left. Oh, goodness gracious. We'll return to praising that play maybe later, but maybe we should look at this one first. Miss Ginge owning the lobby, taking it to the box, no problem.
I'm not gonna lie, Miss Ginge made me miss cringe with that ankle breaker, axle breaker of some solo one's mechanics, just blowing by the defender and making it look easy too. And now we have just passed the first minute, and already 4 goals have been scored. Nearly an opposite play style, you know, of a game that we saw in the first game, where, you know, it kind of went back and forth for the entirety of the match. And, you know, it wasn't a lot of scoring being done, but now it seems like they're scoring like clockwork.
It does feel that way. It's just goal after goal. It seems simpler and simpler. Miss Ginge fires a shot right into the defender, though, unfortunately. Had that been off by a couple more inches in either direction, they would have seen a goal come away from it. Off the backboard, Dietrich has the free net, gets the shot, lands it upper 90. The clock getting closer and closer to the end, and this one going in favor of the Bears.
Yeah, we just had ourselves a handful of goals, and we have yet to reach halftime. But I'm liking it, though. I'm liking the heavy offense. I like seeing the goals, and, you know, I just like the unrelenting offense. You know, that's what you want to see. You want to see a high-scoring game. You want to see some nice highlight plays, and you want to see the teams do what they do best. And also, speaking of, there was almost a cheeky demo there in the backfield as Kalo is going to get a steal here and is able to take this one the opposite way, looking for the drop down to Dietrich. But no, it will be no good as Kalo is holding the wall there at the midfield, giving time for Dietrich to rotate back as Sunday is going to try and take this up and over Kalo, but it will fall back down to Miss Ginge, and now the ball will jettison back to the corner by a fantastic defensive stop, all alone by Dietrich.
Kalo's got possession now up to the ceiling. We know how good they are off those back walls, but they'll have to retreat for now, leaving the ball wide. Miss Ginge throws one up high. Can Mini Sunday reach to it? Maybe they can, but their name's not on the screen. We don't get to see it. Dietrich, one play downfield, blocked by Miss Ginge. Out to the corner. Dietrich off the backboard. This is going to be tricky, but it's not enough to break through and give Bears their fourth goal just yet. Sharks need to get back on the other side. Look for a clear. Dietrich with that miss is going to make it pretty darn easy for them. Miss Ginge over to the corner. Can they break through? No, they can't. It's off the sidewall. Mini Sunday into the hands of Dietrich, who clears a little bit further downfield.
Yeah, you see, now we're starting to get a little bit stagnant now that we've kind of passed halftime and both of these teams are going at each other's throats. But finally, the Sharks will find a way, and it's with the demo game. Now we're starting to see some Shark-like gameplay here, being absolutely vicious on that demo, leaving an open net for Mini Sunday to score a big goal. They are now all tied up at 3.
Taking a bite out of a Bears defender. That's how you do it. Sharks tied up 2 minutes. Just like you said, Captain. This one's going to go in favor of Sharks, though. They really like this back wall play. Now, Bears give them a taste of their own medicine. Snuck by Mini Sunday. Inches away from making contact, but the wrong move on the thumbstick is going to cost them.
Yeah, and that was actually tricky. I felt bad for Mini Sunday being in that situation because, you know, on one hand, you have Dietrich going backwards, doing some nuttery-buttery type mind game action, whatever they were doing, and you're thinking, what are they up to? They're going in reverse right now. I don't understand. And then out of nowhere, you see Dietrich picking up the demo in the corner, clearing the way, and then just coming in with the boomer, you know, and just knocking that one into the net. And that's not the first time they've tried that play. They've been going for the demo play quite a few times, but it actually didn't work out because, of course, the player would respawn on the other side of the field and they would be back within defensive position. But it worked out that time, and now again they have the lead and hoping to hold on to it.
It was a good attempt from the Bears, just unable to make much of it. Halo will have to retrieve this one for the offense. Set it up for Dietrich. Dietrich actually comes in early for the 50-50. Kalo's up for it, misread it. It's an easy save for Miss Ginge. Out to the right side. No boost in the tank. Minute to go. Sharks need this desperately if they can get it. Mini Sunday put one a little bit further. Miss Ginge comes back to the back wall. Can't quite get there. Left it for their teammate. It's just off the post. Can they find the angle? No, they can't. Off the back wall, and Dietrich gets involved to save the Bears a little bit more time and burn some more off of the clock. 40 seconds to go.
Yeah, and honestly, it just feels bad when you have so many opportunities and you're just hitting every part of the goal besides the back of the net. And honestly, I like to call that butter in the biscuit because you're literally doing everything besides cutting it. And that is just feels bad energy as this one goes off the backboard again. Once again, a shot opportunity goes by and they couldn't find the back of the net. This is kind of similar to the issue the Bears were having in game number 1, but that game is way behind them now. No problem scoring here for Kalo, getting a nice read off what almost seemed like a waterfall touch from Miss Ginge, as that just falls right there in front of the net, and now they have an insurance goal with 14 seconds left to go.
If Kalo keeps playing like this, I don't see why they couldn't end up in Champion League soon. 2 goals ahead of the Sharks now with 10 seconds. They've secured this one, and the series score is going to hold true, just adding on another tally for the Bears. They clear one more across. Nobody capitalizes, and hey, They didn't need to. Bears took what they can get, got what they could get, and end up with that win.
Yeah, and what's actually getting crazy now is that, we're going towards a series scoreline, and it's 2-0 now in favor of the Bears. The Sharks really need to start to answer back because, of course, they can go down 3-0 and they can go down 3-0. And, the series, as far as like, best of three is, it doesn't look so good. But remember, we play all 5 games here at MLE. So you really want to still be able to try and pick that back up. Still can go for the reverse sweep by all means. You can still make the whole comeback as a Shark. But remember, it's hard for Sharks to swim backwards. So going back, it's really going to be difficult for them to try and make this turnaround now. But with that being said, even if they were to go down 3-0 in the series scoreline, they can still come back and win 2 games, which would help them overall in the power ranking. So it's really important for the Sharks to really make some adjustments going into game number 3.
The good news, Captain, is that the Sharks don't necessarily need to swim backwards because it is hard. This one's just all about the Sharks swimming forward, pushing through, powering through with their mentality. That's what's really, really important. We talked about it in the last series. We just saw a reverse sweep with the Hurricanes. They did a phenomenal job at doing it. In fact, so well, keeping their mental space so clear that it looked like it was all a part of the script. So we could see that here. Bears, though, the reality of the situation, that they are 1 game away from getting a series win and playing spoiler to the Sharks, at least for this week. Got the offense rolling for them early. We'll just have to see how it plays out.
And now it's going to be Miss Ginge coming out early. Again, we already know how dangerous Miss Ginge is with the 1v1 mechanics. Once again, breaking some axles here. Look at the amount of control. Just keeping it on the nose of their car to the very last second. Getting the swish and the flick and putting it right in. Dab on them, Reaper. That's 1-0.
Miss Ginge, we know how good they are with the dribble plays, the 1v1 play, everything mechanical about them, owning the team whenever they can. That's what we need to see a little bit more from the Sharks, is that solo play. Maybe if you have to, feed the ball to Miss Ginge a little bit more if you can. The Bears get the pinch downfield. Here comes Kalo off the back wall. We see this time and time again from the Bears. It's just not every time is it consistent, and that was the big key word I was going to talk about, and it's something that I harp on just all the time because especially at these leagues, that's what they're lacking. They're phenomenal players. They've got the heart, they've got the spirit that they need, but that consistency is what they need to continue to build on. With 45 seconds gone, here we are in game number 3.
And already again an answer back from Get You Kalo with a nice follow-up here from the corner. Now Kalo showing off some singles mechanics of their own here, taking it themselves, coming out of the corner and getting past Mini Sunday. Another equalizer being scored in this series as we're tied back again at 1 and still just above 4 minutes.
A little bit more time on the clock. This is great. This is a very comfortable place when the game's back and forth like this, when you feel the momentum swinging. You know that you have so much time to make up for it, and especially in Academy League, there's going to be a lot more times that you can punish for those mistakes. There's going to be a lot more holes in the defense, so it's nothing to get all panicked about. Dietrich takes this one down low. They go for the 50, dunked by Mini Sunday. Kalo from midfield throws it up fourth. Sharks turn back on it, take their sweet time. Kalo grabs the boost, gets a bump along the way out, leaves it for Dietrich, who's not going to push in. Dangerous spot towards the box, off the crossbar, and out. Dietrich takes it away, takes out the trash, but Miss Ginge running low on boost, gets demoed. I'm not sure if they got the boost or if Dietrich has it. Either way, great position for the Bears to be in, dangerous spot for the Sharks.
Yeah, it looks like they're kind of sharing the danger a little bit because, like, they've been, kind of back and forth with the shots, and the Sharks previously, not so long ago, had the Bears in a really scary position, and then the Bears just returned the favor. So I'm really liking the back and forth and that, we're still stuck at 1 here. So we're seeing a lot of respect being showed between these two teams, not taking anything too risky, being really cold and calculated, and make sure that when they make a play on the field, that they're 100% sure that it's more than likely going to pay off. But they couldn't come up with that one. A nice read off the side, but I think they just ran out of boost right at the last second there and couldn't get that doomsy dish.
I think a lot of these players are just struggling to know when they've got time, so they got to have their teammate using their eyes, being those second pair of eyes on the communications, letting them know that, hey, you've got a lot of time to work with here. You got to play that way as a team. This one's off the post. Mini Sunday gets demoed for their efforts as well. Dangerous for the Sharks. Already up for it is Miss Ginge. She can't get there, and it's off to the races once more.
Yeah, and this was just an absolute laser coming off the side. Over there by the side boost, nice way to lurk the midfield, not pushing up too far, because I can't tell you how many times I see a missed opportunity come from someone that's pushed up too far. And this also applies to passes. Any pass that's coming out of the corner is going to, more often than not, a jettison. It's going to be coming fast. It's going to be hard to read. If you're pushed up too far, you might not be able to react in time to, really take advantage of it. So it was actually a really good read for them to stay next to near the midfield, being able to get a good read out the corner and just send an absolute laser right up and underneath the crossbar, and away from the defender, and now leading to a 2-1 lead here in favor of the Sharks, which honestly they really needed here in game number 3.
Yes, they did. Sharks hold this lead pretty comfortably. Time expiring pretty darn quickly here. Kalo off the corner, back to Miss Ginge, intercepting it. Dietrich with it rolling off their back. Puts it out to midfield. We'll have to make up for it, but low boost. It's going to cost them. Mini Sunday out off the corner. Miss Ginge, here they come. One more shot, rushes it just a little bit. Dietrich, know that they're feeling comfortable now, but the way that they're able to make up for this, Kalo flicks it long. Everybody's got the 1v1 mechanics, but Kalo's done it all the way, finally getting revenge on the one and only Miss Ginge.
See, that's the second time Kalo was able to pull off a solo goal, and way to be there, not only for the pass, but then for the shot. They literally just passed it to themselves, was able to get past both defenders, and honestly, that was just pretty impressive. But now it's going to be Dietrich trying to get a piece of the pie here with a score of their own, going off the backboard, but not enough boost and not enough juice. We're still going to stay tied at 2.
This is a very nerve-wracking game. Sharks need this immediately. Like we covered at the beginning, like you specifically said, Captain, your playoff hopes are in danger right now. Your playoff contention is not looking good right now. With having to go for a reverse sweep, this is not a good place to be in if you are a Sharks player or fan or Academy League. Kalo gets their fingers on the ball, bumps into one of the Sharks players, Miss Ginge. Takes it around, takes the slow dribble play, has the opportunity, can't break through. Kalo, phenomenal defense. This one looks towards overtime, closer and closer, 30 seconds remaining. Oh my goodness, Miss Ginge with the mind game in front of net secures another goal.
And honestly, this was just a goofy goober mishap coming from the Bears. Don't get me wrong, great mind game from Miss Ginge. Like 100%, I probably would have fell for it myself. But really, in my opinion, the Bears were just way too close in the corner. They didn't spread the field out at all. Like, one of the worst things I think you can do, especially in a 2v2, is be close to your other teammate. And the Bears were just straight up shadowing each other just now. And I think it really just came back to bite them in the butt, because now they are down 1 within the final 5 seconds of the match. And it looks like this one is going to go towards the Sharks.
And this is a win that they certainly needed after going down 2 games. They start their momentum for the reverse sweep, but this one is actually still up. Dietrich, joint to midfield, blocked by Miss Ginge. Things getting a little dicey, but Sharks are able to hold on as the clock expires, picking up their first game win of the series, and Sharks fans are going to be happy about that one.
Yeah, they definitely needed that one. But that's exactly what I wanted. Ask and you shall receive, and that's exactly what happened. Because, we're talking, we want to see the Sharks show up in game number 3. They have to. Or, it's going to be dreadful for the power rankings, for their playoff contention. And, they really did turn it around, and they showed up in game number 3. But like you said, it's all about the consistency. Winning one game is not just going to do it here. We play all 5. Now they have the opportunity for the dreaded reverse sweep. It's going to be up to them to pull it off. And honestly, I just want to take a quick look at the stats here, because we're looking at the other side. Clearly a missing component, for the Bears that turnaround was Dietrich. Dietrich, I didn't see any stats pop up for them. No goals, assists, saves, or shots. Was really Kalo just kind of running things out there. And if they want to take this opportunity away from the Sharks, Dietrich's gonna have to get a little bit more involved.
I mean, I would absolutely say so. It doesn't feel like Dietrich did get involved as much. We said their names a couple of times, but it's not enough. You have to get something on the board. No shots, no saves, no assists, no goals. That's not a good place to do. And you put your teammate in a position where they feel like they're doing all the heavy lifting, and their mentality starts to struggle a little bit. They start to feel like they have to be the hero, and things could go downhill. And maybe that's exactly why game 3 just didn't go their way at all. They're feeling like they have to make up for a lot, Kalo, and You know, Dietrich just kind of sitting on the back burner that game. May have let that one slip and go to the Sharks, but we're back into it. Game number 4. Sharks feeling good, looking good, have an opportunity. It's just shot wide. Mini Sunday wasn't able to get to it. Let's see what they can make of this game. Can the Bears find it and close it out right now?
And already just to a pretty good start, though, we are seeing some shots coming out from the Sharks early, but, you know, like we've seen from the Sharks before, they're just missing by the wayside, and maybe a couple of pre-jumps that they probably shouldn't have jumped for. You know, we're seeing that type of mentality of where, they're in a good mood, they got some momentum on their side, and now, they're being a little bit aggressive there. But you got to make sure that you're not too over aggressive, or once again, just like the Bears, it could come back and bite you in the butt. But now it's going to be Kalo looking to do some damage here. A nice shot on target, but a little bit too easy for Miss Sunday not to save. This will fall right back down in front of net, and a 50-50 by Miss Ginge is going to hold off Dietrich for a little while longer as Dietrich just kind of flies and flares a little bit, not doing much in the corner. And now they have 2 defenders coming up for the save, causing a double commit. Could prove costly, but the Bears will elect to retreat.
That's a first that we've seen from the Sharks to double commit so easily, but I guess not so easily, considering that's the fact it's the first time. Dietrich trying to get a high open goal. Here's what we asked of them. They score the first for the Bears and the first of the game, all the way up from the heavens, drops a little penny in the wishing well, and puts them in a good lead.
That was actually a pretty cheeky shot, too, because if you didn't really notice or pay attention, in case you haven't, Dietrich actually turned their car on the nose just a little bit to kind of finesse that one to go to the opposite side of the net where the defenders were not, because the defenders were expecting a straight down touch down into the lower right corner. So in the last second, Dietrich rotated their car around to put that one into the bottom left. And it was really good shot placement, and it's good to see Dietrich start to open up and wake up as Kalo is going to open up that net and find the back of it. A nice shot there, and also not to mention the coordination here, going from the demo to the pass play to the recovery and the follow-up shot will make this 2-0. Good job by the Bears so far.
Little slow on the reaction time from Miss Ginge, just not what they were looking for. They were looking for the 50, but just a split second too slow is what's going to end up costing them, putting them down 2 goals in a deficit that they were not expecting to be in this game. Dietrich up off the woodwork, actually puts the shot from Miss Ginge on target, just rolls up the post. Halo throws it out. Sharks feeling good. Miss Ginge leapfrog over the top, puts it past Dietrich. Oh no, a huge defensive miss is going to put the Sharks within 1.
Yeah, this feels bad. It looked like Dietrich was playing with the D-pad instead of the analog. Just jumped completely out of the way on that one. An unfortunate miss, and of course, the dab will come out for the Reaper and make this game back within 1. Just under 3 minutes, and the Sharks are not out of it yet. They answer back, and now it's looking a little bit better for the Sharks as this will go the other way back into Shark territory.
As you say, it's looking better for the Sharks. It's looking better for the Bears, but they collide into each other on the pass play. Miss Ginge has all the time they need to make something of this ball. Not a lot of boost. Saves it for the 50. Back out to the defensive end. Mini Sunday, who I'm just realizing I haven't said their name a lot. Maybe I will. Maybe the entire community would have had they got that ceiling shot set up a little bit better. We've seen some plays of the week possible in contention from the Sharks so far. Kalo, oh no, misses this one right off the backboard. That's not what they were looking to find. Dietrich gets faked out on the other end. Kalo makes up for it with the 50-50. Thought about going to the ceiling, going for dangerous territory. Sharks right into Bears players. Everybody's starting to whiff, which is super uncharacteristic for this series. We've seen, at least consistent hits on the ball, maybe not accurate, but the fact that the ball is going completely past their card now sparks a little bit of worry in fans all over the place when opportunities arise.
Well, not only are the fans a little bit nervous right now, but I think the players are being a little bit nervous and amazing, them to take these consistent trips to Whiff City. It's a close game. There's a 1-goal deficit. The clock is ticking away. And what was like, I guess, mere inches away from being a goal. Lucky for the Bears, it just flies by the wayside, and we still remain at 2-1 in the favor of the Bears. But now the counterattack coming from the Sharks, as this one will roll towards the corner, looking for a midfield pass here as Dietrich put it there for them. And again, a visit to Whiff City as the ball will find its way away from the net now. But as Miss Ginge takes a second chance here, looking for Mini Sunday, and Dietrich was there to break it up.
I did like what we saw there from the Sharks. Plenty of offensive opportunities, just none to capitalize on. Up the crossbar and down dangerous territory. Dietrich can't make it. Everybody needs to calm down, catch their breath, especially the Sharks, after what could have ended the series off of that goal. Still down one. Miss Ginge with the 1v1 play. Gets the flick. It's off the ceiling. Waterfall down, but not in front of the net. Not enough. Dietrich, or that's Kalo, with the flick. Dietrich, now they come from the back, popping it up high, trying to stall the ball as long as they can in the territory of the Sharks. As they move out past. Here we go. Second attempt blocked away. The Bears getting involved as quick as they can, not giving the Sharks any room to work. Maybe this pinch will help them out a little bit with momentum. Mini Sunday needs to dump this to midfield as soon as they can as the Sharks continue to take boost. 15 seconds to go. The series could be ending after this.
Yeah, I'm starting to see a little bit too much panic coming from the Sharks now, and it's really starting to affect their play. Too many missed opportunities, not enough control in the ball, and they literally just gave it away back to the Bears. They will maintain possession, and they will maintain the win, taking the overall series scoreline to 3-1, but still got another game to play. The Sharks can still go down, but they could go down 3-2, which is a lot better looking than going down 4-1.
I really did at the end there that the Sharks were going to come through with some kind of mechanical brilliance to pull that one off. We saw Miss Ginge get a hold of the ball plenty of times in those final 60 seconds. It just wasn't enough to break through and get that goal, force that overtime. And with this, I mean, like you said, it's a lot better to go down 3-2 than 4-1, but this is a very, very tough loss. Bears, playing spoiler, they have succeeded at that. And while the Sharks aren't totally out of the playoff race, I don't think, or maybe they are after this loss. It does appear that way. They might be out of it. I'm not sure. I'm not on the stats team. Maybe we can get that information later, but it doesn't feel like the Sharks are going to be in playoffs. And Bears, well done. They finally break into the double digits on their win-loss record for the win category. So good for them. And we still got one more game to play.
Not only that, but seeing how much they managed to improve in just a short little time makes me even think how much better they will be by next season. And like you were saying, possibly into the Champion League. But, they played pretty phenomenal, all things considered. Going into this one, the Sharks were the favorite, and the Bears came in with the upset, and there's really no better way to word that. And I think Dietrich might have heard something that we were talking about too, because as soon as we said, Dietrich, you need to get more involved, sure enough, they got involved. The second time around, they got 1 goal, 1 save, and one assist on the board, being very involved and very active during the last game. And you really love to see it because, Dietrich was kind of lacking in the game before, but hopefully, again, we see some consistency, and Dietrich will be able to keep up the momentum, but hold the phone. This will go just by the sidebar and set up perfectly for Mini Sunday to put this one away, and they take a 1-goal lead early.
There we go. Just playing it for the show at this point. Sharks are going to do what they can to get some revenge, make the Bears feel bad in this final Game 5, trying to pick off that last game to do what they can, make their record look a little prettier. Mini Sunday from the corner, can't beat out Kalo, looking for the double tap. Miss Ginge fires all the way downfield, off the corner to the ceiling. Here they come. Dietrich gets their hands on it. Huge pinch off the dunk, down back to Sharks territories. Getting a little rough in the waters. Whiffs coming out from both sides. Kalo fires a shot, runs into Dietrich, pinched it back. Runaway opportunity. Miss Ginge, can she find it? Yes, she can. Carries it in with style. And that's a 2-goal lead for the Sharks.
Yeah, we're already aware of what Miss Ginge can do with an open opportunity, even going up against 2 defenders. But if you just give it away to Miss Ginge, you're pretty much asking to be scored on at that point. Miss Ginge is already dangerous enough with the ball by herself, but when you set her up easily like that, you're pretty much just giving goals away at this point. And now they have 2 goals to the Bears 0. But even going into this, the Bears had nothing to lose, and they have officially won the series overall. So they really are out of things to lose at this point. So it's probably not so upsetting for them, but at the same time, you don't want to give goals away. It's just not a good look, Bear.
No, it is not at all. Oh, no. Well, Sharks fans get loud, but Bears, I think there needs to be some recalibration because these whiffs just cannot happen, and I think it's contributed to all three of these goals at this point.
Yeah, being that Sharks can't walk on land, they certainly are running away with this game. 3-0 now here in game number 4. Oh, I'm sorry, game number 5. Still looking, pretty good for the Sharks, all things considered. And like we said, it's a lot better to go down 3-2 than it is 4-1 because we still aren't 100% certain, at least I'm not, that they're out of playoff contention. So maybe this last win here could bode well for the Sharks. But again, only time will tell until we know 100% for certain. But so far with this like one minute and a half gone so far, it's looking well for the Sharks. And I honestly hope they can keep it up.
I do too. Sharks would love to pick off that extra game for their momentum, and not only that, but for their mentality as well. As a team, going through a season in MLE is just such an amazing experience to meet new people and learn that you maybe work well with some teammates and maybe not so much with others, but the ones that you work well with, those are friendships you're going to take with you for probably the rest of your life, or at least as long as you are still on the internet. So Sharks, as a team, they would love to close this one out with a win, and with a 3-goal lead so far in game number 5, this might be a solid end, not to their season yet, but definitely to this series. Miss Ginge looking for the team play, but seems like there's a bit of an absence on the Sharks' end, waiting all the way back on goal, and Mini Sunday clears it away.
I'm not sure. Maybe we have one player sticking back to play goalie and the other one playing up to play offense. Who knows? I have seen sometimes, in Rocket League, not necessarily in the pro scene, but like if I'm playing a casual match or something, I might see certain players stick to certain positions. Like they always have that one kid that likes to play goalie, refuses to leave the net. But it's starting to look like the Sharks are breaking out of that type of habit now as they start to share the field a little bit. As they still maintain to keep the Bears scoreless. This 3-0 score line, and the time only continues to tick away as we have just hit the 2-minute warning.
3 goals to the Sharks' name, none at all for the Bears in this game 5. Miss Ginge takes it down low, trying to regain control. Flicked Kalo. Miss Ginge dunked by Dietrich. Kalo pushing back, allowing their teammate to push forward off the sidewall now. Kalo thought about pushing in, decides against it. Mini Sunday with control. Flick not powerful enough. Too low as well. Or Kalo to recover. Miss Ginge getting involved. Mini Sunday shoes up for it, and it's down to the ground once again. Bears back out to midfield. Cut off by Sharks. Dietrich fields it back. Now Kalo chasing down those demo plays. Knows that the defense can't hold for very long. This kind of play continues from the Sharks, but 1:10 to go before this one's over.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it's starting to look to me like the Bears are just a little bit lazy, starting to hibernate just a tad bit early. But a win is a win, and if the Sharks manage to walk away with this one, and they were able to finish the series out 3-2, then more power to them, and good on the Bears as well. As we reach the final minute of play, it's looking all but over for the Bears here in game number 5, and it's it's starting to look really upward for the Sharks. But again, still time to tell. The Bears could possibly come back, and I could also possibly win the lottery. But all things are possible, especially in Rocket League.
No, but it doesn't look like it's possible for a Bears comeback now, Captain. A little bit of Captain's Curse and Caster's Curse. Look at that, a double whammy and a double play over the top for Miss Ginge, who has just been an absolute stellar star for the Sharks this series.
Hey, it's still technically possible, like the bare minimum of technicality of possibility, but I'm not playing on Miss Ginge's team, so she doesn't care about the possibilities. She's just gonna keep going on a scoring frenzy. Let's pad the stats a little more, and with that, Miss Ginge will get themselves a hat trick.
Ginge with goals galore for days. How many are they at now? Let me check the scoreboard real quick. Yep, 3 goals. Picks up the hat trick. I was sure that eventually it would come through for them. Miss Ginge from the grass doesn't need to do much else. Sharks are going to walk away with this Game 5 victory and maybe a 6th goal, but Dietrich's able to get the clear. Kalo sends long. It's off target. Miss Ginge will need to block this one. They are unable to. There's a retreat. Dietrich down low. Doesn't break through the defense. 3 seconds more. And Sharks They walk away with it. They'll feel pretty happy about the end of the series. Like you said, it's a lot better to go down to a 2-3 than a 1-4. So well done to the Sharks to hold it true and keep their mental game strong throughout this and play as those team players. And not only that, good teammates, good people playing some Rocket League. It's always good to see, Captain.
Oh, absolutely. And it's also always good to see an upset. I'm not going to lie. Watching Rocket League, it's one of those games where I'm actually enjoyed to be upset. And honestly, I couldn't be more happy with the Bears coming in and, just making a statement that, just because the season's or whether our playoff contentions are technically over for us, it doesn't mean we stopped improving. Doesn't mean we have stopped getting better. Doesn't mean we've stopped playing Rocket League. They came through today and they did absolutely fantastic. Managed to take the series 3-2, and I can't wait to see how much further they improve by next season. I will definitely be keeping a lookout for Dietrich and Kalo next season just to see how far they come. But speaking of things to come, we got some more MLE action waiting for you in just a few moments, so don't even think about going anywhere. Captain's orders.